catlovedreamingbeach.com.
Is September 2nd already. Let's see. It's midnight and I already turned off all my lights. So turn that on. Let's see, I can just do a quick little video. Should I try to turn on any of these lights? Let's see, I can turn this one up a little bit. Oh, I know what I could do. I can turn on these lights. Like that. Let's see, turn this off. Oh, turn it back on. Hey, my sweet peaches, how are you? So, I actually, against my better judgment, I went ahead and I watched a lot of the I almost said Wendy Adelson's trial. What I wish was Wendy Adelson's trial, Donna Adelson's trial. So, at some point in 2024, I had said, if Wendy isn't arrested by January 1st of 2025, I will have lost all faith that she will be ever arrested. And now it is September 2nd of 2025. Donna's trial will continue tomorrow. And I believe the state has rested their case. And the defense will start. So something I was pleasantly surprised to learn is that Donna's defense seems to be coming after Wendy, although not heavily, not hardcore. They're not like saying, Wendy wanted me to do this. This was all for Wendy. But they did say, who benefited the most. I think that's what they said. Wendy. So they are bringing some facts to light. For example, 3 months before the murder, Wendy's parents purchased an apartment, a condo, at a building called The Continuum, which was supposedly maybe for their retirement. And then Wendy was added as a resident a month later with the excuse that, well, it's just a lot easier when I come to visit, that I don't have to be considered a visitor if I'm a resident. And sure, that could be feasible. But it could also be just as much as feasible to say, well, less than 24 hours after Dan was murdered, she went to South Florida and moved into that place at the Continuum. And I believe on June 4th, which was supposed to be the date of the first time that they tried to kill him, she canceled a trip with Jeffrey Lacasse from July 11th to the 17th. Now, I'm not exactly clear if she did do that on the 4th of June. However, it does make sense that she would have canceled that trip so that she could pack and get rid of everything that she needed to get rid of and prepare everything, clear out her laptop, clear out her cell phone, clean up her email, do all the things that she needed to do so that the day that Dan was murdered, she could hand over her laptop and say to them, you can keep it. I'm not going back to work. I won't need it again, which was true. She never went back to work. And then after that 6-hour interrogation where she threw her brother under the bus almost instantaneously and her parents, and also offered herself up as a suspect at least 9 times, according to Georgia Cavalman, she answered the phone one time when Detective Craig Isom called her and then was like, I can't hear you, click. Never called back again. So what else? There's so many things. So there was the apartment that was prepared. Oh, 2 weeks before he was murdered, she had a note to cancel her cable and to start Netflix, which just, another little sign that she knew she was moving. What else? Oh yeah, she didn't buy a house. I think it was on October 31st when Charlie convinced her, don't buy that house, which was the same day that he sent a picture of him with Katie Magbanawa, which was the same day that Katie said that Charlie asked her, do you know somebody who could hurt someone, harm someone, take someone out, something like that? And she said yes. So that day when he convinced Wendy not to buy the house, it was because he knew she wasn't going to need that motherfucking house. Because that man, the problem, Dan, was going to be dead. There are so many things that I believe, and have been done believed, is proof that Wendy Adelson was 100% a part of this. She was the ultimate beneficiary of Dan's murder. Also found out that Dan had 2 life insurance policies, one from FSU, which was $60,000. Another one he had was like 2.5 mil. Then there was a death benefit for the boys, which went to Wendy since she was the one raising them, $4,800 a month. Then you add in the $700,000 that she stole from him. The ring, the Holocaust ring, that was an heirloom that belonged to him. All the furniture and all the belongings that he said that she took from the marital home without his permission. That was a lot. He said some of that shit belonged to him before they even got married, including stocks and the ring and God knows what else. Furniture, his tennis rackets, all these things she stole from him, which were things that Donna had specifically listed out. Let's fuck with him with this. And Wendy did it. Then it came out that Wendy, unbeknownst to Donna, supposedly, had told the courts, I'm willing to withdraw the relocation petition with prejudice, meaning we're not bringing it up again. You don't want me to move? I ain't gonna move. It's fine. Put with prejudice. I'm never bringing it up again because he's gonna be dead. She forgot to say that part. She didn't say that part. And then, I thought it was this big bombshell that Wendy didn't even tell Donna or her dad, Harvey, that she had agreed in court to put it to rest for good, that she was going to relocate. But then I think it was Georgia pointed out, actually 5 days after that, Donna knew that thing is dead. No relocation. So, on one hand, Wendy's telling Jeff, how much she hates it down there in Tallahassee, but then she's telling local people, no, I like it, it's good, I'm going to stay here, it's good. She's telling the judge, you know what, I think I'll stay, it's fine, we can make it work, it's not so bad. All the while knowing this motherfucker gonna be dead, and as soon as he's dead, I'm out of town, I'm never coming back again except to get some shit, which is exactly what she did. So I just wanted to say I have been watching it. Some people falsely believe. Oh God, I gotta yawn. I gotta keep yawning. I'm tired. It's after midnight. It's 12:15 a.m. and I have to work in a few hours. So some people falsely believe that the immunity that she was given is some kind of like all-encompassing. Like I actually got into this back and forth with somebody in a comment. She's like, no matter what Wendy says, she could lie straight to the jury's faces and they can't do nothing about it. I'm like, that's false. False as fuck. Immunity deals rely on the truth. If you lie, you lose your immunity. An immunity deal is based on the agreement that you will testify. You will testify in court truthfully, and the things that you truthfully say that can incriminate you, we're not going to charge you with the things you're incriminating yourself with, because we want to incriminate somebody else too, somebody bigger, better. So we want you to tell the truth, and we're going to give you immunity because we're making you tell this truth. And we know that, you did something fucked up, but we want to get the bigger fish. However, if you fucking lie, you lose it. They can charge you. They can charge you with perjury. They can charge you with the offense that you lied about. They can charge you. Okay? Now, will they? I don't know. That is a different situation. Should they? Absolutely. Will they? I feel like, the fact that more and more little things are coming out to tie Wendy to the fact that she benefited from this. She drove by the scene, tried to drive by the scene of the crime less than an hour after it happened. The way she treated her family, the way she texted them about, don't talk to me about the case, and all the stuff, like just so coldly cutting them off. And, I actually felt bad looking at the courthouse for Donna's trial, and there's the whole front bench reserved for the defense, and it's only Harvey. No Wendy. Charlie's locked away for life. None of the friends. I don't know who all those people are back there. Maybe some of them are her friends or whatever, but don't see those grandkids. I don't think those are the grandkids back there. I don't think those are her friends. I don't think that she's got a big support system. I could be wrong, because there's people back there and I don't know who they are, but it just seems sad. Sad. Justified. And as it should be. But I am super curious. Are they going to fucking arrest Wendy? It seems like Donna's trial is going to be over by the end of this week. Maybe. I don't know how many witnesses the defense is going to put on. And can't stop yawning. I'm going to have to, let's see if I turn this off. It's going to be way too dark. Turn this on. So I'm going to leave it here. There's probably 100 points of Wendy's guilt that I didn't mention. This wasn't meant to be an all-encompassing video. I have made many videos where I went through details. I went through the route that she took that day, driving to the liquor store and past his house, and how far away it was from where she was living, and how far away it was from where she had to go for lunch, and how easy it would be to get to these places, and how even me, somebody who I don't like to drive, and I do like to stay local, and I avoid highways at all costs. Just looking at the fucking Google Maps, I was like, I can find my way there. You go straight down this road, you make a right, and you go over there. And it was like, how could she pretend that she doesn't know how to go down the road and make a right turn when she's been living in this new place for a year and a half, and she's claiming she don't know how to go? Ridiculous. And not to mention the liquor store that was right in the Publix that was right there in the strip mall where she was going to have lunch. There are so... Oh. And then this big one where she testified in this trial, in Donna's trial, that Detective Craig Isom told her in the fucking police vehicle from the restaurant to the station that Dan was shot. And that's why she was thinking in the car on the way, I'm a suspect. However, the body cam footage, the interview room footage, I should say, shows she was told after she got into the room, and she was listening to a voicemail, which was the realtor saying there was a shooting on Trescott, and when he got into the room, she told him, I just listened to a voicemail, and he said, who was it, what was it? And then when she said it was my realtor saying there was a shooting on Trescott, she didn't say, oh my God, and that's what you said. No, and then he said, I'm so sorry you had to hear it like this. There was a shooting, Dan. and he went to the hospital. He's not going to make it. You know, it was Charlie, essentially. You know, so it's like, and then there was somebody in the comments like, well, she could just say, oh, I just misremembered that. Honey, no, that's just not how it works. In real life, you can misremember shit, but when it's talking about a specific detail, if you thought you were a suspect to something that you didn't even know happened, how could you be sitting there in the car thinking you're a suspect of this man's murder when you didn't know it happened, right? You didn't know. Except you did know. And you did know because you fucking knew. Because you were in on it. You were the one. You and your family. So yeah, it's a big fucking deal. And no, you can't just say, whoopsies, I misremembered. I mean, you can say it, but then hopefully the jury will say, no, I'm sorry, no. And that ain't good enough, and that's not how it works. But will we ever get to a jury? I don't know. I think so, more and more and more. I'm thinking yes. If she gets arrested, will it go down the way Karen Reed went, and she'll get a whole bunch of fucking people in pink on the stairs screaming and hooting, free Wendy, free Wendy. Maybe. Or maybe justice will finally be served for Dan Markell and his family. And it would be good for the children to go to Canada to live with Dan Markell's parents, their grandparents, that they've been denied a relationship with just about their entire lives. You know, get them away from all of it. But the fact that she's been raising them all these years, she's been brainwashing them, no doubt. God knows what she's been saying about their dad. Or who knows, maybe she said nice things about their dad because he's fucking dead, so it doesn't matter. So she could say nice things and pretend like she's a sweetheart, you know. Motherfucking man is dead. So who cares if she says a few nice things to make herself seem like a martyr? You know? She's not going to say he's a monster, is she? She's a monster. Anyway, I made a whole other video, very, very personal, which I don't know if I would even share, even with members, but I'm going to have to look. I mean, I made the video and then I posted the video, but it's private. So in that video, I touched a little bit on the Wendy stuff, but I was also talking more about how, you know, it's another escape for me to avoid healing and dealing with my own shit, which is what I've been more focused on doing. So that's what I'm doing, and that's another reason besides the fact that, you know, I've been working very busy for my clients who actually pay me, unlike these YouTube videos, which I'm losing money because I'm working for free, essentially. So working for free, you lose money because that's time you could be doing something else. Whether working for a paid client or just fucking cleaning up or resting or whatever, you know. But I did spend this whole weekend catching up on the things that I missed. I didn't listen to every single minute of every single witness of every single thing, but enough to see that Donna is finally willing to throw Wendy not under the bus, because it's not under the bus if it's the truth, you know, but to put Wendy in the spotlight where she belongs. And, you know, hey, Donna's going to go to prison for life. Charlie is in prison for life. Will Katie McBanoa will she get an opportunity for parole? Maybe, you know, maybe in 10 or 20 years that would be appropriate. I don't know. Sigfredo's never getting out. Luis Rivera get out in, 19 years was his whole sentence. I don't know how long he's been in there. Well, wait, he was arrested he was already in 2016 when he was arrested. He was like literally already in prison for, I guess, for being part of the Latin Kings or whatever gang. So when they gave him 19 years, but it was concurrent. So he had a 12-year sentence. They gave him a 19-year sentence, but saying, well, you can do it at the same time. So basically he got 7 years additional. So 2016 to now, that's 9 years. So, you know, he's got like 7 years to go. I don't know if he gets paroled out for good behavior or whatever, but so I mean, I feel like that's fair. He drove a car. You know, he knew what was happening. And that, 20 years, almost 20 years in jail. That's, many people got less for actual murder. So, will Wendy Adelson get arrested before 2026? I feel like the moment that Donna's guilty verdict is read, they need to go arrest Wendy. I don't know why it had to wait for her. Like I said at the time when she was arrested, I was like, waiting for her is ridiculous. She gets pushed back all the time. And look, that's what happened. Her trial was supposed to start in September of 2024. It got pushed. Or wait, what was it? Was it September of 2024? And then it got pushed to August of 2025, almost a whole year later. So that bitch has been fucking raising the boys of the man she killed all these years. They are 16 and 14. They're not fully grown, but they're almost. So, like I said in the other video, which I didn't share yet, even if she gets arrested this week and put away for the rest of her life, it will never be enough justice because she got to raise those kids. She got 12 years with those boys, raising them. And I feel like that's a crime. You know, obviously, the killing of their father. And then killing their father. And then having the freedom to walk free and raise the boys of the man that she killed. Specifically so she didn't have to worry about him. I just feel like there's no amount of justice that will ever, like, she could die in jail. She could be arrested tomorrow and die in jail, and it will still never, ever be enough justice. But that would be a good start. All right, and we out.